At it again, and I've got two videos here that I'm gonna be stitching together. This first one with Sonny Hostin. Oh my goodness, you know, Sonny Hostin and everyone on The View. They always just they know how to say the wrong things. It's incredible. It really is. They have the great ability to always say the absolute wrong thing. It's really amazing. But anyway, thank you guys for all of the continued love and support. Thank you guys for also being patient with me in the terrible visuals. I know, it looks like crap, but you know, I've been very, very busy lately. So yeah, I still have not figured out how to work that darn camera, but coming soon. I promise you. That is a promise. Okay, very, very soon. But anyway, with that being said, let's dive in.
Why would it be that a guy who creates such destruction and ruins so many lives, who seems so deeply inauthentic? I mean, if you thought Trump was smug, if that's what they thought about Trump, that Trump is smug, this guy is the smuggiest in Smugtown, okay? But why would a certain amount of people be bamboozled by this sort of thing? Well, it's because a certain amount of people are NPCs. These are non-playable characters who can't think for themselves, so they watch The View.
If you aren't familiar with what a NPC is, I mean, he just said what you know the NPC stands for: non-playable character, someone who is just a mindless robot, basically, in layman's terms, that can't really think for themselves. They just kind of walk around and I'm just gonna follow the crowd, whatever. That's exactly what people like Elizabeth Warren and Sonny Hostin, just, you know, those folks, you know, non-playable characters.
We need somebody who can get the country back in line. Yeah. Because it's, you know, if you can name me a Republican who has a shot to do that, that's what I'm more interested in, because
I think it'll be
DeSantis. I hope it's not DeSantis over in Florida, because I think he's a fascist. DeSantis. I think he handled COVID miserably. I think he's a fascist and
he handled. Oh my goodness, he handled the beer bug miserably. Even though people like AOC, the guy from Illinois, I even think Gavin Newsom, all went to Florida during that time when, you know, lockdowns were going on, but he handled it terribly. Really? Stop it with the BS. Stop it.
Bigot. But
those are his good points.
Those are his good points. Exactly. Bing,
Don't
bing.
hold back, Sonny.
Bing, bing. But I do think there are plenty of, you know, Democrats that have tons of verve and energy. I mean, I like Gavin Newsom because he's really pretty to look at, and I think he does a great job in California. I like...
What's her name? Joy? Isn't that her name?
Gavin Newsom because he's really pretty to look at, and I think he does a great job in California.
Did y'all catch her facial expression after Sonny Hostin said, because I think he's done a great job in California? She was smiling, and then, like, she couldn't even pretend that was a great take. Gavin has done great in California. I mean, California, you know, the place where they're banning motor vehicles and trying to force people to buy electric vehicles, even though their grid can't handle it. And just last week, they were telling people, hey, don't charge your vehicles, but make sure you guys go out and buy electric vehicles. How in the frick does that make any type of sense? You know, the place where crime is just absolutely rampant. It's just like the wild, wild west. Don't go to California. You know, for a long time, I really wanted to visit California, but after everything that I've been seeing, I'm not going anywhere near California. You know, not at all. You know, California, you know, the place who has actually gone down in population. When has California ever gone down in population? But, you know, I guess Gavin Newsom's doing a great job of depopulating the state. That's for sure. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I like Gavin Newsom because he's really pretty to look at, and I think he does a great job in California. I like Kamala and Pete Buttigieg.
I love Pete
ticket.
Buttigieg.
I think that looks great.
You think they could win, really?
Well, I would vote for them.
Of course,
I hope this country is ready for something like that. I think the brain power alone would just obliterate Trump or
I would.
brain power. They love Pete. Oh, man. Oh, man. Make sure y'all get out and vote, please. 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 Please.
How many of you just barfed? Connor had a little vomit that he just swallowed down, even though we've shown you that clip before and we played it for ourselves right before the show as we did our run through. That woman is so unbearable. But I don't want to make this about Sonny Hostin. I want to make this about the ideas that she's talking about there. First off, you just call him Death Santis. You just call him the guy who kept the state open. The guy who has the second oldest population in the United States. I don't know if you know this. If you ever saw the Golden Girls, a lot of old people in Florida. And their rates of COVID and death and everything else were basically on par with California. He fought to make sure people could go to work and not ruin kids' lives and everything else. I can tell you, in case you don't know it, you all know how much I love Florida. Everywhere I go here, there is such appreciation for this guy. There is such a zest for life here. It is the fact that I'm going to LA today. It's kind of funny, but this is the show we're doing today. I'm going back to Cali, to LA tonight. And I just know for all the joy that you see in people's faces here, that it doesn't exist there. Because I went back a couple months ago and it was a nightmare, dystopian awfulness. Whose idea was this trip? It was your idea. Anyway, so okay, and then she, casually, he's Death Santis, he's a fascist and a bigot. Yes, he's a fascist. He wants to use state and corporate power together to stop people. That's literally what the Democrats were doing with COVID, right? You were literally trying to have the federal government force companies to inject their people with a experimental drug. That is the most fascistic thing that I can think of. That is Philip K. Dick level sci-fi fascism, okay? And he's a bigot. I mean, it's just, these things are meaningless. They are.
Yeah. And I touched on this, I want to say yesterday as well. They just throw out a bunch of names at folks just all the time. Oh, they're this. That orange man, that Trump guy. Oh yeah, he's phobic and this phobic and that phobic and this other phobic and this phobic and this ism, and it's just like
absolutely meaningless. He is not a bigot. He is not a homophobe or anything else. You may not like him because you don't like functioning people who care about America and care about freedom.
Bang. There you go. They don't like functioning folks. They like NPCs. People who just follow along. You just nod and say yes and smile. Don't you dare have anything constructive to say. Oh, man.
For an answer from Biden on his 2024 plans, and last night's interview didn't clear any of that up.
If I were to say to you, I'm running again, all of a sudden a whole range of things come into play that I have requirements I have to change and move and do.
In terms of election laws?
In terms of election laws. And it's much too early to make that kind of decision. My intention, as I said to begin with, is that I would run again. But it's just an intention. But is it a firm decision that I run again? That remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen.
Because I don't think the decision is his.
Biden's reluctant answer, not keeping a horde of power-hungry Democrats at bay. California Governor Gavin Newsom is chomping at the bit. In a new report, Newsom is unequivocally running for president in 2024 if Biden does it, with a fundraiser saying no ifs, ands, or buts. Jessica, I'm not sure I can take that strong language. But do you think it's really going to matter to Gavin Newsom if Biden runs or not?
Yeah.
It would?
I don't think anyone will challenge him if he's running again, or certainly no one who wants to continue having a career in Democratic politics. I mean, there could be some, loony type person that does it. But Gavin Newsom plays by the rules, and he wants to continue, obviously, being governor if Biden doesn't step aside. And I really wish the president, though, had been as clear as he had been in other interviews where he said, I am running again. We're going into the midterms. He is the president of the United States of America. And now it allows people to, pick your favorite warrior, right? No, I'm going to be a Kamala person. I'm going to be a Pete person. Amy Klobuchar is, getting excited again at the prospect of this. I mean,
An
he's the president.
Klobuchar.
He's in. She's excited. She's great.
Yeah. She eats her salad with a comb. Remember that?
If that was about a man, if we
It
want
has
to go back
been.
to this.
Jesse eats everything with a comb.
With a
And I mean
comb?
everything.
So,
Yes.
which Jessica brought up Kamala. Do you think that the reason why they're not answering the question is because she's a source of embarrassment?
No, I have a real. They're doing it because it's not up to Biden whether he's running again.
Fair point.
I have a feeling someone's going to tell Biden whether he's going to run again, and he's going to say, okay, or are you sure? It's like Biden could announce he's running for re-election, and the White House might have to walk it back.
Yes.
You'd be like, the American policy on the Biden campaign is that he will not be running for re-election. And imagine treating a woman this way, Greg. Imagine saying, my intention is to marry you, but it's just an intention. Is it a firm decision? That remains to be seen. That's not what the American people want to hear, but it actually is, because this is the most unifying Joe Biden's ever been. The Republicans and the Democrats hear he may not run, and they're like, all right, way to go. Also,
Facts.
it's not Republicans that are making this a story. It's the liberal media asking Joe Biden this question over and over again. It's the liberal media asking other Democrats, if he runs again, are you going to support him? This isn't our issue. They've been wanting him out for a long time. He was useful to beat Trump, and that's it. Joe Biden's like a tuxedo. You wear it on special occasions, but if you wear it every day, you look ridiculous. Gavin Newsom probably hosted a watch party for...
Never heard that one before, but I might steal that one. Wow. Yeah, that was
60
good.
minutes, because he must have been popping bottles of champagne seeing that disastrous interview. He probably already calls his wife the First Lady. This is what's going to happen. He's not going to run, and you're going to have Gavin Newsom, Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, and Liz Warren running for the president in an open Democratic primary. It's going to be a 5-car pileup of identity politics, probably the best thing we've ever seen. Ever.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
And I eat everything with a comb.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think, Judge?
You know, my favorite part of this, and I was going to use the line that Jesse.
Who do you guys think will emerge if Biden doesn't run again? Who do y'all think? I'm thinking, obviously, a front runner is going to be Gavin. I mean, that's been clear. I feel like that is just like one of the most clear things ever. But then, depending on how the rest of this term goes, I think a second place person would be Kamala, because she's black and she's a woman. So she has two of those identity things going for her. And I think she would have a chance to beat out Gavin simply based on that. Because Gavin can't refute it. What are you going to say? Because then you look like a no good, very bad Republican if you say anything terrible about a black woman. So, yeah. What do you guys think, though? Let me know in the comment section.
He just used about my intention is, but is that a firm decision? No. But here's my second favorite line. Do you have the mental acuity and the physical energy to be president, to do this thing again? He says, you just watch. You watch. Keep my schedule. His schedule.
Yeah.
He's been on vacation in Delaware for
not
155 days. And in addition to that, he says, I mean, it's a matter of, that old expression, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. No, I don't know that expression. Nobody
loves
knows
pudding.
that expression.
The
He
proof
keeps
of the
putting his
pudding is
foot
in
in
the
his
eating.
mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy he's just not totally with it. And I agree with Jesse. I think somebody else is making the decision to see
flavor.
how good, to see how well he's doing. And I think it would be a mistake for him to run again.
Dana?
I actually think that might be a little bit more practical why he made that answer. One is that there are these weird federal election laws that if you declare that you're running, then all of a sudden you have to start counting the money that you get for your general election versus what you can pay for your primary, and it gets a little complicated. And I imagine also that the White House would like to have another one of those grand events in Philadelphia that they hopefully would not do as badly as the last speech where they advanced it differently, because when he announces that he's running again, if he does, they want that to be a big deal, not like something that you say on 60 Minutes while everybody's watching football.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, they want to curate it, make it special. That makes so sense.
Oh man, he's not running again. There's no way. There is no way unless they figure out unless they excuse me, really have figured out a way to clone folks, which there's been a lot of speculation, I don't know. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but unless they've truly figured out a way to do so and they do it to him, he ain't running. Ain't no possible way he's making it. No. And I don't mean like, I don't wish death upon anyone, right? But just the mental capacity in order to make it there. I don't think he's gonna make it. I mean, like they said, he was putting his foot in his mouth in that little interview. And those interviews are like softball questions. I mean, he knows all the questions beforehand. So when you're doing that, I don't think it's gonna happen at all. I think it's gonna be Gavin versus Kamala, and that's how it's gonna go down. On the Republican side, it's going to be Trump, DeSantis. I don't think DeSantis will push for it if Trump actually goes. But obviously, if, something happens, with this whole Mar-a-Lago crap and the witch hunt, and Trump, can't run or doesn't want to anymore, then it's obviously DeSantis for sure. Unless you guys know of anybody else that, you think is just hasn't really put their name out there too much yet. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, Biden ain't making it. But what do y'all think? Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Peace and love. I'm out.